12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keeping Up with the Nerds presents issue 220. My name is Bryan.
Nick.
Rene.
Sean.
And welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
When you do that, it makes me really hard to, like, not laugh.
What? Out of context, I
know.
don't understand
and
what...
the pausing of that, too. It makes me really hard not to laugh.
Because before we started, Rene was just...
Right?
Chipmunking the whole thing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me well? Yeah?
Pick you up.
Just a little bit? I can't hear myself on the mic or on the...
You're most likely they're unplugged.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It's fine.
You're fine.
Guys,
I can hear you.
please check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com. Also, if you guys are on the go, check out our audio platforms on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Podbean. Leave a 5-star review where you guys can. And please go check out our YouTube channel because we're uploading LA Comic-Con interviews, videos, as well as our skits, which do get uploaded every Thursday. And since this episode is coming out the day before Halloween, we actually do have a Halloween sketch coming out tomorrow.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that one.
I have a question.
You
remember
always have questions.
I remember in the rundown, you said we should put candy on the top so that way, it looked very festive and everything else.
But
who the hell put toothpaste and a toothbrush?
What do you think?
Who added this
Who do you think?
to the list?
Your local dentist that lives in the neighborhood.
Are we sponsored today? Or
By
what is
Colgate?
this?
Sponsored by Colgate, dude.
Colgate.
The #1 dentist recommended toothpaste.
It only kind of tastes and smells good.
Trick question, dude.
You need this toothpaste, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just like, oh, never mind.
We're going to eat that later.
Did you need Hold on, wait. When you guys went to go get candy, were you going through getting candy and then you were like, wait, I'm out of toothpaste?
No, he just brought that from home.
You brought it from home.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use that toothbrush.
Stuffed it in my
backpack.
backpack.
Huh?
I wouldn't use that toothbrush. I don't know where it's been, dude. At least for recording.
Man, he gets the good ones. See, it's got breast strips inside of it.
It has breast strips inside?
Yeah, it's also got some whitening powers.
Wait,
as
you
well,
rich?
too.
No.
Yeah, you get bougie.
No, I actually got that from the food bank.
You think you're better than us?
I got it from the food bank.
Oh, yeah?
It was
Wait,
in there.
The food bank gave you this?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like that's messed up. They're like, put some food items. You could technically put it in your mouth.
It was a 2-pack and like 6 toothbrushes that were thrown in the box. And I was like,
Is the one at that church over
Okay.
there? You go to that one?
no, I think Christy's dad just,
okay.
he had it and he gave it to us. I was like,
Oh, okay.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's a church over here, like at Painter. That
Yeah.
does it, like once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they tell you to pray for each other, and then you're like...
Yeah, and then you gotta sign your blood.
Sign your blood.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
And then they'll eat your babies.
Yeah. gotta give away your firstborn.
And then they
That
give you
adrenochrome.
and then they give you that button that like it kills a random person in the world. And then they were like, "Oh, if you push this button, you get $1 million, but a random, a random person dies."
$1 million. You didn't even let me finish $1 million of like
Yeah.
something. I was like, I know it's $1 million.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what if
really-
it wasn't?
Yeah,
What if it
if
was
you
$1
push
million?
this button, someone will die. But you'll get $1 million. Oh.
I forget who did that sketch.
Oh,
It's
no.
so funny. It's so funny. We should.
Right?
All right. Well, this is going to be a pretty lengthy episode, so I kind of want to just jump into the news and talk about the things that we need to talk about because last week, I was assigned duties because I had to keep to my word and watch an anime. So Rene and I started an anime club.
Yeah.
An anime watching club.
We joined.
No.
Me and Sean
No,
joined.
you
Yeah,
put
you got-
yourselves in it.
We did. In all fairness, we did. We had to.
This was exclusive members only to 2, and then somehow you guys squeezed into our little
In
club.
all fairness, I didn't remember what episode 5 was.
Yeah, I know. You
I-
came
I-
in.
I really
Literally,
didn't
we were like,
remember.
first 5 episodes. You're like, oh, did you get to this episode? No, what are you talking
No,
about?
we're not
Oh,
there yet.
that
That's
was
literally
the fifth
episode 5.
No, actually, no. You guys did get to that episode. I was an episode behind.
So here's the thing. I just found it funny that you were so adamant about that specific thing you mentioned was episode 5. And then Rene was like, I just finished watching it. It's about the freaking cult in underground. You're like, no. Like, you were gaslighting him, dude. You gaslit him.
in all
No,
fairness-
it's not that.
In all fairness,
What?
I just channel my inner Trump. And if I say it loud enough, and I say it with enough confidence, it has to be true. That's how I get away
Renee's
with all of
wrong. That was not episode 5. Episode 5 was clearly the one that I saw.
That is how I get away.
Not in the episode of Gurren Lagann that I saw.
That is how I get away with a lot of things.
Lagann.
I just say it with enough confidence that everybody goes, "Oh, he knows what he's
Renee's
talking about."
wrong. He will always be wrong. Renee doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hold on,
Watch
Trump.
Gurren
Calm down,
Lagann.
Trump, all right?
Huh?
You sound like Trump for a second.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my bad.
You're wrong.
They were
Everyone's wrong.
Did you say Iran?
Aaron.
Oh,
Aaron.
Iran.
But yeah, Renee and I were tasked to watch the first 5 episodes of Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
No, because Renee did point out something that was obvious that I didn't notice it until he said it.
My tits?
No one in the show mentions Gurren Lagann the same.
Why?
Everyone says it differently.
The brother says it differently. The narrator says it differently. We say it differently.
Mm-hmm.
The brother says like Gurren Lagann.
I feel like that's a translation issue.
Yeah.
That sucks. It's in the show.
And the narrator was like, last week on Gurren Lagann. I'm like, there was no guh.
Oh, wow.
Next episode, last week on Lagann Gurren.
Last week on.
In all fairness, I know I've seen that show at least a good 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Next week on Google Lulu.
If it has done that, I have not noticed.
Neither have I. My brain just
it
fills
is-
in the blanks.
Yeah, it's never bothered me. It's never been a problem. You guys are morons.
Right? Oh, God.
Oh my god! All right, so let's just.
I don't know. I think of Pete Holmes doing that.
I
All
love
right,
that, man.
Let's get the not negatives, but let's get the criticism out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of the first 5 episodes?
The first 2 episodes were good, and then I watched the 3rd episode. Very good, but then I caught myself rewatching episode 4, and then I had to rewatch episode 5 again because I wasn't paying attention, and then realizing I was kind of forcing myself to watch it, which isn't a bad thing. That's the thing. In my opinion, it's still not a bad thing. It's just I'm just probably not in the mood to watch it. But the first 5 episodes I did watch, very good. Animation's great. I see why people like it. I see why you guys recommend it. I'm probably gonna just slow down and go at my own pace at this point because I don't like when I have to force myself to watch something. But it's just, I mean, it's probably because I'm not in the mood to watch it. That's basically what it comes down to. Basically.
All right.
So
In all fairness, Renee wasn't going to watch it.
Yeah. I know.
yeah, I was.
He was not going to watch
But
it until I sat him
you
down
watched the
on
first
Thursday.
5. All right, I'll continue the journey on my own. I'll watch
Yeah.
the next
Give
5
him
next
credit
week.
for the 5.
Yeah, no, we're watching it with you, Brian.
All right, fine. Well, this is my take on it. I mentioned this to you, Sean, that the reason I didn't watch Gurren Lagann was because the first episode, the first time I watched it years ago, was a total turnoff for me. Watching it again, I was reminded why I didn't like it. And I feel like explaining it over Messenger didn't do me justice because I couldn't figure out the right way to say it.
Uh-huh.
I understand that what they were doing with Yoko is done a lot in other animes.
It's a trope. It's just
a trope.
It's a trope.
Especially in the early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trope, right? But the thing that really bothers me, and is I think it's kind of putting me in the same position as Renee, I just didn't care for it enough. And when I was talking to you about it, there came a realization that I just wanted more from Yoko in that moment than to be generalized as just a body. Now, from someone who's watching it, I get it. Like, I understand, right? Because she's dressed a certain way, she walks around a certain way, and what's the older dude's name again? Kamina. Kamina is supposed to be the guy that's kind of like airheaded and arrogant.
A himbo.
Yeah, exactly. A himbo. You said that. And I get that, right?
He's also negging her most of the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't actually know how to communicate to a woman he likes.
He doesn't know how to communicate in general.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
so
He can't spit no game.
So there's a
been
lot
living
of times
underground.
that he mentions things about her body, but that's because he doesn't know how to talk to a woman, which is also, once again, a Japanese trope.
Yes. So, like, I got that aspect of it because forgetting the
Skittles.
fact that I'm good. Thank you. Forgetting the fact that he was just doing this to Yoko, you see that in episode 5 as well, where he just doesn't understand. He doesn't understand why this religion is forcing people to like leave the tunnels once they reach a cap of 50 people.
Yeah.
I understand that, right? And you see that the arrogance, the kind of like closed-minded mentality that Kamina has, but when you have the same repeating trope happen.
I don't think it's arrogance. I'll stop you right there real quick. I don't think it's arrogance. I think he's just he knows so much about himself, and he stands in his power as a male character in a not as a toxic dominant way, but it is like he's so assured of himself.
No,
he will die on that hill.
And I'm not using arrogance in a negative way. It's more like arrogance, like just closed-minded to the point that he's like you said, he's very confident in himself that he's not willing to learn. Or
it's a man's way.
But the other thing is that
it's a Kamino way.
No, but the thing is that also I wouldn't necessarily say that either, because especially in that episode, Kamina is specifically getting upset because he knows what happens outside.
He does, yeah.
He knows that this
That's
religion.
death.
He knows.
You guys are killing
he knows
them.
the religion is BS. He knows that everything else, and they're using it as this like way of making it an honorable death when it's not. Where you're just sending children out to be murdered in the wasteland.
Children at that point, but in any point in time when they were sending people out, it
But
could have been anyone.
but they're randomly doing it.
It's
like,
they're-
they're-
no, it's
they're
rigged.
random.
It's
rigged.
rigged.
They mentioned that at the end of the
rigged.
episode. But again, like I understand, and that's because I'm going back to the point of why I didn't like the first episode. To me, the first episode was not the strongest. I think that the first episode had so much potential to bring me into this world and be so involved in the anime, but because of my dislikes of having those sorts of things in that first episode,
so just the Yoko thing.
just the Yoko thing was a total turn.
the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Literally, not the last 5 minutes. That was like a solid.
No, it wasn't.
It was like
Last
10
5
minutes. No, because Yoko gets introduced halfway through the episode.
No.
Let me Google, but proceed.
It's about halfway through the episode. But literally, that entire part ruined that entire episode for me because it was so repetitive that I'm just like, okay, I get the point. Can we like get to the part where these characters can interact away from this trope? And it didn't leave. But the second, third, fourth, and fifth episode allowed the characters to develop the way I wanted to, which is why I said that everything else from there was solid. And it was enough. The sexualization of Yoko was there, just like in any other anime, but it wasn't force-fed in a way that was like obviously constantly being like, here's the boobies, here's the ass, oh my god, people are reacting like in the first episode. I got exhausted. In the second,
how old is she supposed to be?
she's like,
She's probably like 17.
16, 15 maybe.
Yeah.
honestly.
I thought she was like 16, 17, because Kamina is about 18.
See.
yes.
Kamina is about
IMDb.
18.
But I just got tired of it.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it. And then everything else afterwards was 100% solid. I can find myself enjoying it. I will say this. Part of me being upset at the first episode, and I don't know if you read the messages that I told Sean, Yoko is like Asuka for me in Evangelion. Very strong, dominant women who are very sure of themselves but still have a lot to discover. And Asuka in Evangelion was sexualized every now and then, a lot sometimes, right? But she was still allowed to develop as a character. The first time you meet Asuka, she had a personality immediately. Yoko wasn't given that chance in the first episode. She was given the chance in the second.
Honestly, though, Asuka has one of the greatest like character intros. Like the whole episode is just Asuka strikes, and she has a dope intro, kicks butt, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm here to kick ass."
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel like you're also demeaning the entrance as well, because
Of
she
Yoko? No, Yoko's entrance was great.
Because hold on, because my thing is that Yoko's entrance is great, where she comes in, she has a big old sniper rifle, and she's just taking on a gunman.
She does
which
the
is
Akira
basically
slide.
where, okay,
Yeah.
but my thing is that
She's 14.
She's 14.
Yes,
That
she's
doesn't
the
help the
same.
case.
She is the same age as Simone.
Okay, hang on.
I mean, when you live on the surface, you got to grow up or die.
It's
Yeah.
also a bunch of kids. This is literally a show
it's-
about
yeah.
a bunch of kids,
It's kids, I get that.
and you're putting your own sexuality
Kamino was
into the
18.
situation.
Because I'm watching it.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, when Kamina first meets her, this is what he has always wanted. He has always wanted to meet somebody from the surface.
Yes.
And he immediately meets this girl, and he thinks that she's super hot. He's like, whoa, she's really hot. They mention it, everything like that. Then they're going and everything else, and then she's giving you background of what's going on in the world.
Yes.
She is giving you exposition. The only other time that Kamina really mentions anything is when she says, I'm from Littner Village. And then he goes, you're from the pit next door. And he then says, move it, Thunder Thighs. Because he thought she was from the surface. So
But
he's
you're-
making fun of her.
But you're ignoring, because that's the thing, is it's not just the dialogue. Because Renee and I spoke about this. It's not just the dialogue. There's framing involved and how like she's portrayed a lot of those times. Again, yes, you're 100% right. I'm putting myself in this situation, but I'm the one watching the anime, right? I understand. I read into Gurren Lagann. This is an award-winning anime with great potential, great arcs, great storytelling. I understand its existence and why it's celebrated so much. As someone who could care less about the stuff that was shown off in the first episode, it wasn't the strongest for me. This is just my take on it.
Right.
If other people like it, that's perfectly fine. Like for me, Evangelion is one of my favorite animes, and I would never recommend it to anyone because it is a very tough anime for someone to watch. I understand that, but as for me, I love the show. Now, if you're asking me my own opinion on the first 5 episodes of Gurren Lagann, the first episode is garbage. It did not get me into it, but everything else afterwards was perfectly fine. And I'm telling you why the first episode was garbage to me.
I know,
Now,
but
when
It's
it
a
comes,
tea. Let it steep.
let
I know,
it,
but-
exactly, let it steep, and it did that.
My only thing is that when you say it's garbage, I feel like you're doing such a disservice to the writing. Not only that, but also the world building that they're doing inside of that first episode. There's so much that's going on.
Yeah.
Besides, I understand
that's
that, but
perfectly fine. I don't see the problem with that. Though.
I know, but the fact I can see you saying it's not the strongest, but the fact that you're saying that it's garbage means like we don't need it at all.
It's
And
garbage for me. I keep saying that it's garbage for me. I personally do not care for the first episode. Like, if you were to tell me, and I go back to this, if you were to have me get into this show by just watching the first episode, that entry point is very rough for me to get into it.
I know, and that's why I was saying there's no anime I think I've ever watched where by the end of the first episode I'm like, I'm in. I'm 100% in.
But for me, there is.
There isn't,
Evangelion.
because
No,
even Evangelion, it takes 3 episodes because the first episode there's a lot going on, the second episode is a lot of world building,
Yeah.
and then the third episode is cool. Now we're getting into the actual adventure.
Okay.
There is no A, B, and C plot. It's very much A, B, C throughout 3 episodes.
To be honest, though, the first 2 episodes of Evangelion, you need to watch them together, like in one sitting,
this is-
because how the first episode ends, it's a weird cut.
That's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
you're like, wait.
But that's what I'm saying, though. You can't watch the first episode. Only Evangelion. If you watch that first episode alone, you could say that's a terrible anime.
But this is
by itself. That's why I always say you need that 3 episode branch just to kind of go, okay, cool, because all animes do that where it's there's definitely an introduction. We're going to be introducing you to all the characters. Usually episode 2 is an introduction to the world, and then in episode 3 here's the adventure that everybody's kind of going on.
So here's the thing. You can have your discussion about me saying that it's garbage is a disservice to everything. But no matter what, my personal take on that first episode as someone who had to watch it, I didn't like it, and that's why I think it's garbage.
That's your opinion. That's
my
your
take.
perspective.
Yeah, and I
that's
completely
valid.
understand. Yeah, that's why I'm not saying that
that's
anyone
valid.
else. Because Rene, you enjoyed the first episode. Yeah, you liked it.
I
So
liked
there,
it.
yeah, and I don't disagree with you because there were really good elements in that.
Yeah.
I mean,
But for
you guys like Acolyte, and I think it's hot garbage. But
There you go.
I mean, that's just
yeah.
We're
that's
still
just
here.
always going to be my my
we
my
didn't know it
perspective.
snapped.
No, and I totally understand that. For me, it's really hard to kind of like go like everything else inside of it was really, really good, and then the last like 5 to 7 minutes, just because this one character showed up and they made a couple of comments, to go like immediately I'm gonna throw it in the garbage, and everything else, when everything else is so solid and they're building a world and they do so much to show you the animation style, they show you what the world is going to look like, what fights are going to look like, what everything else, and then even to show you like the ending where they shoot up into the world and you see the horizon of the final like minutes of that episode, and you're kind of like, oh man, like this is the dawn of a new age in these people's lives.
So
and it's so poetic that it's really hard for me to go like, yeah, that makes sense just because Yoko has big boobs. Like that's really hard for me to like understand.
But again, you consume it differently than I do. I don't watch anime a lot. I watch on occasion, and I watch very little. So the very little that I do consume, I consume it much more differently than what you two would consume it. You guys are probably watching this going like, oh yeah, I'm so used to the tropes and the language and all these different things. I only get into anime if I'm really digging the vibe.
But these tropes aren't new though.
But
These tropes
again,
have been are in other media
I get that.
that you also intake.
But and you called it out on messages like, well, it's kind of hypocritical because there's same things like in wrestling and all these different things.
It's the duality of things.
It is, but again, I've mentioned this before. There is a history even on the show when it's unnecessary. I do call it out and I do get uncomfortable with it. And I'm like, I don't feel like these parts were necessary. I've been this type of person where if I do see something I don't like, I do call it out and be like, this was a thing that wasn't necessary in this part. I'm very critical when it comes to anime, when it comes to like when it's stuff like this. That's why I don't consume it as much. If you were to talk to me about the anime that I do watch, I am very basic. I watch Dragon Ball. I watch Initial D. I love Evangelion. I don't really watch anything else besides that, but I have told what?
Dragon Ball has an entire section of where Bulma is flashing Master Roshi.
Yeah.
And then Goku is then trying to
There's
look
also
underneath.
a bit where in Super, Master Roshi is training with what's
Poir.
his name? Yeah,
Poir.
exactly.
He's training with Poir,
and
so
I
that
don't.
way he doesn't molest
hate
women
those. I
anymore.
hate that. I really, I hate that part. It like makes me uncomfortable. I'm like, ugh. Why was this necessary? We literally don't have to, pretend like he's not groping her and doing inappropriate things. He's doing it, and it's kind of weird. And I, again, personally don't like it. So for me, that's why this. I don't want to focus on it too much because it is a very negative part for me. I would much rather talk about the things that did interest me in the second, third, and fourth and fifth episode because I was looking into it. The animators and I think some of the directors went on to create Studio Trigger,
Yeah.
and then they did Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, only 5 episodes in, and now I want to watch Kill la Kill to see what kind of style and direction.
I don't think
You would not make it 5 minutes.
No, you wouldn't, because the etchiness and the hypersexualization is a
only
key
amped.
element of storytelling, not from like a very that's degrading way. No, it's okay. Their clothes specifically looks this way
Because
of the powers, and like, that's actually, spoilers, a living creature. Okay, so it has its own personality and how they meld together and stuff.
how it's covering her and
kind of like how
in my head the connection of seeing what Evangelion did to help create Gurren Lagann, which did kind of help create Kill la Kill. That's where my brain goes. That's where my interest of exploration comes in. Again, people sometimes don't like being recommended things just because it's good. Sometimes they need to discover things that they like on their own, right?
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I don't see it.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying from your reaction to the first episode of Gurren Lagann and the way that they interacted with Yoko, you're gonna have a hard time.
I actually like Yoko. Hey, look, it's 5 episodes in. There's still a lot more for me to watch, and I think
Still have 22 episodes.
Exactly, and I think that, to be fair, give me that opportunity to think about what I want from this show, because we're all going to consume this media differently. You've consumed it differently. Sean consumed it differently. Rene literally is just like, I don't care.
I watched it on the Sci-Fi Channel back when they had Anna Mondays.
Yeah, see,
Do
I
you
didn't know
remember
that
Yeah,
sci-fi
I
was.
forgot
I
about
looked
that.
that up, and I'm like,
I
oh,
forgot
that's
about
interesting.
that.
Like, the other thing
Miss
was,
Anna Mondays.
I wanted to talk about this. I don't want to focus on the first episode anymore. That's my take. That's what I'm going to live with. But on the 4th episode, I had to stop because the animation changed. And I'm like, why does this animation not look as crisp and good? And it turns out it's because it was directed by a guest director who worked on other projects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not that it looks like crap, but apparently a lot of people criticized it.
Imashi.
Internal like animators and stuff were like, oh, this is bad, like it wasn't a good take, but it was because it was directed from someone else. And I'm like, it has its own charm if you're into that kind of style. I get that. It just pulled me out for a second.
Yeah.
But
It's how they draw the noses.
it's how they draw the noses and they like frame the face too close to the lens.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a little bit weird, but
This is like high school.
That was the episode
stuff.
where they're fighting while they're hungry, right?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I think I forget who was the one that mentioned it that said, "Oh, Brian's gonna get annoyed of the whole belief thing," and I'm like,
The belief thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
just,
believe in the me that believes in you.
Believe in the
Oh.
me that believes in you.
Here's the thing. I would prefer a Kamina over a Shinji because Shinji,
Oh yeah.
as much as I love Ava, was so weak in terms of like him just crying about everything. And I would much rather have the
Yeah.
complete opposite because
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like that would progress the situation a lot more. Again, that's just my take on it.
I can't wait for you to watch the movies too.
For
The the re-series,
oh, I've only seen 1.0. I need to watch 2.0 and 3.0.
and then you have 4.4.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm interested to see where you take off from, because episode 5 is actually like a really important episode of like the morality of the world.
Yes.
See, that's what I got
He
from
can't
that.
even read. Did you guys laugh when he said like, "Oh, I can't even read"?
Like he has no idea
You
what
know
the book
what?
says.
I wasn't even laughing because I love that world building aspect of it. Of like, because okay, it's kind of there is a little bit dumb. It is a little bit of a dumb thing. Everything in the world just happens to work.
Yeah.
Like no matter how ridiculous it is, like this mech can combine with this mech.
It's because they believe.
Exactly, which is so weird. Like there were points in the show where I'm just like, this is so stupid. I like it. Okay, fine, it works. It look like the mech looks great. It makes sense. Okay, this is called Lagann, and that's called Gurren.
Did you
It's Gurren Lagann. Oh,
did you like the longest sword in the world? In the fight in the tall grass with Viral, it's super funny because you can see when Kamina grabs his sword, they animated it and it's like super long because he opens it up and it's just
oh yeah.
and it's still in the sheath.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going. And it just keeps going and going and going till his arm comes all the way out here, and then it finally comes out of the sheath. And I was like, the longest sword in the world.
But see, that episode's also great because they give context to Yoko's sniper, and they said, "Oh,
It's charged by
it's
electricity.
exactly." I'm like, "That's badass."
I can use anything.
Yeah, I can change the ammo out for anything.
That makes
That's pretty
Yoko.
cool.
That's why I'm so interested in her character because like she's got assets that could make her like super lethal.
yeah,
And she-
A and B.
A and B.
Yeah, just her boobs.
I
There you go.
Asuka
Yeah.
and Yoko are just like two of my favorite characters so far.
Asuka from
Evangelion and
Yeah.
Yoko. I feel like they're
Oh.
parallel to each other. So that's what's keeping me invested in it
is
so
it
far.
Asuka? Because I thought Asuka was from Black Clover.
No. Well, there's probably an Asuka in
Asuka
Black Clover.
Asuka is the main character in Black Clover.
I didn't watch Black Clover.
Yeah.
I feel like
little
Evangelion
bit.
is like the sour and Gurren Lagann is the sweet. Where
He was
Evangelion
he
is
was
so
in
depressing.
two different mindsets at
Yeah.
the time, and I love how you can really see whatever he's feeling emotionally and mentally. It comes out in his work in these weird avant-garde ways, and it's like so cool because when I watch his stuff, I'm like, dang, I feel like I can relate to that. And then I see other stuff, I'm like, dang, this guy's really depressed. Like when he put out Shin Godzilla, he was already kind of like losing himself, and he was going through depression and all that. I'm like, it reflects what he's feeling, and it really comes out in his work, especially with Gurren Lagann too.
I noticed that there's a lot of like really he knows they really know how to take you from a high and then just plummet you.
Yeah.
And like kind of go like, oh wow, oh shoot. Like even in like the end of the second episode where Kamina is able to he's able to, steal his own gunman, and they fight off the beastmen, and they were like, yeah man, this is a good win for us. We stole a beastman, we won the fight, everything like that. And then it ends with him finding out that his dad bit it in the desert.
So
You're like, and it's that realization, and then it just ends with him crying.
So to talk about that part, I like how this show so far in the first 5, it doesn't like to kind of like pretend like this is going to be relevant further down. It kind of just leaves certain things as like, this happened, that's it. This happened, that's it. Like the dad in the desert, the dead body, like, oh, dad bit it. No, next episode. All right, let's move on. This is what's going to happen next episode. Let's move on to the next thing. If they do bring it back, some aspects of it I'd still be interested, but I like how they just deal with stuff as if like, okay, done, done, done. All right, let's move on to the next part. It keeps it going.
Well, they do kind of bring it back with Kamina now having his dad's cloak.
Yes.
Of like he's taking on that mantle now.
Yes.
And he's now I'm going to explore the surface, and
But
I'm going to carry on what you were doing.
But it's not like in most modern animes like My Hero, where a thing happens in this episode that is left questionable and it doesn't get addressed until like 5-6 episodes down. And then it gets addressed again like further on, where it like constantly wants to keep playing on this thing of like, this is the thing that you saw first and we'll talk about it in here and here. Gurren Lagann is like, we introduced this part,
But that's
and then we'll bring it back again
that's
later if you
also
want.
the difference between a mech anime a lot of the times and a shonen.
Yeah.
Because My Hero is really a shonen, and you can see this a lot inside of different mech anime, like Gundam or any of these, where it's just like, okay, cool, this is what happened. This is what happened last episode. We're going to continue from this point, but we're probably not going to address anything that really happened in the last one.
No, they like to take care of their problems like right then and there and move on to the next bit and progress the story.
Because it's also, a lot of it was made in the early 80s, and this one was made in the early 90s, and a lot of it is because it is week to week.
Wait,
like,
Gurren Lagann was made in the 90s or 2000s?
No, it's made in the 2000s.
That's what I
but
thought, yeah.
but I'm talking about like a lot of like early mech anime,
Oh, yeah.
which was made like in the early 80s going into the 90s. Like Gundam or Evangelion was made in the 90s, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, those are my thoughts on the first 5. Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, I mean, if I'll try to watch episode 6 and go from there. If I don't watch it, then I don't watch it, because right now I'm trying to focus on my 31 Days of Horror movies right now. I'll probably watch it. I'll probably start watching it again after that in November. Yeah.
Is there any character you like the most, Rene, so far?
I do like Simon.
Yeah.
Simon. Yeah. Seaman.
No, yeah.
Seaman.
Say how you want, because
Yeah.
they say Gurren Lagann like 50 different ways, dude.
I've heard him be called viral. Like
Viral.
Yeah.
You know who's an interesting character too?
Who?
Ron. I like Ron.
Ron?
The
Really?
mechanic.
I thought you wouldn't like Ron.
Oh, I love him. He's
I was a little
so
concerned that you
weird.
were
He's
gonna
like
like Ron.
he's like a weird character.
He's
in the
Roger. He's Roger from American Dad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
he
a
is.
way. He's just he's so out of place that I like him. Just
Yeah.
give me something. I don't know. Give me something to like point out. That's that's what I like about anime. Just that's my thing on anime. It's like something cool like that. I don't know. It's just funny. Ron's interesting, but Yoko's still my favorite. All right. What time are we at?
We are at
33.
40.
No, just 30 minutes.
33 minutes. Yeah.
33 minutes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to comic strips. Are we all ready for comic strips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic strips, a portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't take up 10 to 15 minutes. I already messed this up. Let's try not to tangent. Let's go ahead and start off. Abbott Elementary and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia crossover isn't just one episode, but will be a 2-episode event where the teachers of Abbott Elementary will make an appearance at Patty's Pub. Yes.
Now that I've been watching Abbott Elementary like actively, because I'm on I think I'm on season 2 now.
Okay.
I don't know how that's gonna work out. Like I really like, because they're so. I don't know how they're gonna do it where you have the show of Always Sunny, and then you're going into this office style show, because is it going to be that Abbott Elementary's the documentary for Abbott Elementary is just going to go into the pub and that's it?
So
Are they going to be interacting outside the pub? Are they going to be, because the way that Sunny is filmed adds to a lot of its comedy.
yes.
So, and then the way that Abbott Elementary is filmed adds to its comedy.
So
how do you find a fair middle?
I here's the thing. It's weird because
I just see it as Always Sunny will just be in the element of Abbott Elementary, which is in that. And you're gonna see
Charlie's gonna do it.
No, Charlie's gonna look at everyone and be like, whoa, why are they here? You know? And Frank's gonna be like, I don't want to be recorded and stuff like that. But and then I picture when it comes to Always Sunny, it's just gonna take those characters into the Always Sunny element.
So here's the thing about Abbott Elementary. It's like Parks and Rec in the same way. in the same way that it's not like The Office. In The Office, they acknowledge that the documentary crew is following them. In Parks and Rec, they never acknowledge them. They just have sitting heads. And then it's the same way with Abbott Elementary. There's certain angles and portions of the show that are being filmed where you can clearly tell there should have been a cameraman there or something, but in the next scene, it's not.
I feel like it's a lot closer to Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
It's a lot,
Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary is a lot closer to Parks and Rec.
Exactly. So I would want to, now that you mention it, when they are filming Always Sunny in Abbott Elementary, for them to interact with the camera and make it obvious that it's a crew that's watching them.
Yeah, I want to see like Dennis like flexing or something.
Exactly. Yeah, like constantly getting his good side.
Yeah.
And then when they go Abbott into Always Sunny, I want the crew to be relevant for a bit and then disappear and just let the teachers be teachers in that world. Also, allow them to cuss.
That's true.
Yeah.
They get to be a little bit more.
They can be a little naughty.
Yeah, a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? That one, that one Boston. I mean, not the Boston teacher, the Italian teacher. What's her name?
Melissa.
Melissa. Because she's already cursed a couple of times.
You know what? Have you noticed? You haven't seen it, have you?
I've seen like the first 5 episodes.
So did you notice? Oh, you're on season 2.
I'm on season 2.
Pay attention to the amount of times they cuss in the second season and the amount of times they bleep out cuss words in the third season. They're getting a lot more liberal.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be that they're getting less stringent on
Well,
because it's going, most of it's going straight to streaming.
Yeah, it's also just funny.
Yeah.
Like it's just funny not out of context, but it's funny in the situation. So I don't know. I'm excited for it. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Disney. I want to get the small stuff out of the way before we get into our big stuff. Disney has announced that it will do a major AI initiative that will transform the creative output. It will focus on post-production and visual effects and involve hundreds of people at the company. Exactly what was not explained.
We're gonna get a lot of VFX that just has like 5 or 7 fingers. It's just gonna be like weird people
Oh boy,
all over the
Uncanny
place.
Valley.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Uncanny Valley, especially in the very beginning.
Old people shouldn't be having technology. Just gonna
I
say that.
don't know if that's what it is.
No,
I
straight up.
feel that AI should definitely be more regulated.
I feel like either
We shouldn't just be like give a blank slate to
No.
AI and just go run with it.
but that's what old people do. I feel like anyone who's like running a company that's like 65 years or older, feel like AI is like the solution to everything. It's a freaking tool. It's not supposed to be the answer to everything.
Well, yeah,
They probably don't know that.
Then teach them. And if they don't want to learn,
but
Quit.
that's the
Who's
problem.
gonna
though,
teach
is that
'em?
Who's gonna teach them? Because the people that are in charge are the ones that
Yeah.
are making the decision. And
Those are the teachers.
fire
yeah.
'em.
That's you can't. You can't fire your boss.
Riot.
That's not how that works.
Riot. If
I
we
would
all
love
stand together.
Erica.
No,
Yeah.
I just think that it's gonna be that it's very different when people are trying to talk about AI, and I understand why a lot of these groups are striking and why a lot of them are trying to make contingencies on AI. That's the whole reason why SAG-AFTRA is going on strike. That's the whole reason why the writers union went on strike. That's the whole reason why everybody went on strike. And their reliance and dependence on AI for the future, and saying we don't need writers anymore, we don't need graphic artists anymore, we don't need editors anymore, is just folly. Like you can't just immediately take humans out of the equation and just go, the computer could figure it out. You need that person to then say, hey, this is how to do this. This is what we're looking for. Because that's what happened on the, on the Thunderbolts poster. It was done by AI. That's the reason why there's inconsistencies with like hands. That's why certain things are blurred out, everything else. And AI is dangerous, especially like right now during election season, where we're just getting a lot of different AI things that.
So much misinformation, man.
Yeah, like did you
Crazy.
see that new scam that somebody just got arrested for?
What?
Somebody got an AI and then they put Biden's they put Biden's voice through it, and they did their own little scam where it was Biden talking and it's a message from Biden, and they thought it was from the campaign. and it was a donation kit, and it was donating to Kamala Harris. And the ideal is that you were supposed to be donating however much you can and everything like that. You call up and then they go, oh, like, we're here to donate. Like, are you willing to donate? And then people were giving their credit card information to these places. But that's the thing, though, is that for a lot of, like, hey, donors that are calling you on the phone, they may call for that, but they're going to send you a link, or they're going to say, hey, okay, cool, follow this, or I'm going to send you to this thing, and it's going to ask you for all your information. But a lot of older people don't know that. Mm-hmm. And then they're getting tricked and then getting, taken for everything that they're worth.
Yeah. No, 100%.
AI needs to be, we need to put more strings on it.
No, what we need to do is we need to train AI ourselves to overthrow the older generation. And then
that's
once
how
we
have Terminator.
No, that's not how we get Terminator.
That's how we get
don't put them in bodies.
That's not how that works.
No, that's how that works.
That was the only factor.
No, that's the only. If we don't put them in bodies, then we're fine.
You know that they didn't put Skynet in a body. She just went nuke, and that was it. She didn't.
Okay, so
put
then we
nobody
restrict nuke access. All right.
If it's connected to the internet, she has nuke access.
No, we put it in a bubble. We put precautions. Okay.
What is this? The movie The Eagle with Shia LaBeouf?
Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye.
You're not thinking. You're not. Just believe in me that believes in you, Nick, and we can do this. Okay. That's fine.
I believe.
That's not the Kamina way.
I believe in it. I just don't believe in
Kamina would
AI.
not take no for an answer.
For
he would
AI?
just say,
Yeah, he would.
No, he wouldn't. Dude.
He doesn't trust mechs. Or he doesn't trust beastmen and stuff. Come on. He doesn't
Like Max.
He pilots what? Yeah. He doesn't trust the thing he pilots. That's all it is.
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking about Disney, 20th Century Studios was in the news recently because Predator will receive not one, but 2 potential films next year. So the first one, Badlands, which was announced like a while ago, is still set to release November 7th of next year. And a secret Predator film, quote-unquote film, is also in the works to be released sometime before Badlands. We don't know what that is, but the project is rumored to be not a film, but an anthology series where the Predator fights warriors of different eras.
Oh, okay.
I actually like that idea.
Yeah, that's great. I was hoping for like a Shogun style, like
apparently
Ronin Predator.
Yeah, well, he fights like samurais or Vikings and stuff like that.
It's that show Ragnarok. Have you seen it on Netflix?
No, didn't bother.
There's an animated show.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of the show Ragnarok, not the live action, not the animated one. I want to see it.
The animated show Ragnarok, where it's all the gods have
the record of Ragnarok.
Yeah, they all the gods have collected the greatest fighters in the world.
It's
and
awesome.
They're fighting for humanity, and then the gods are fighting against them. I
like
feel
that.
like this is kind of like the same thing, but just with predators.
I never
Sean
thought I
is
would
like-
root for Jack the Ripper.
I know.
Ever. I was like, how did you guys turn this character and make me like
Go like, dude, I
empathize
really hope,
for them? Like,
I really
wow.
hope Jack the Ripper wins. Also, they made him really hot.
Oh, daddy.
He's super hot.
That like gray mustache, that short gray hair, and 2 colored eyes.
Yeah, dude.
Super dapper. I'm like, okay.
Wet.
I see you guys.
This is why you avoid watching true crime documentaries, because then you get into this kind of stuff.
Well, it's all-
Where you
I
just
actually
are
really,
just
I actually
dating
really
serial
do,
killers, dude.
I actually really do want to watch the it's the Zodiac it's the Zodiac speaking.
Yeah.
I want to watch that new documentary.
Yeah, same.
Well, they also announced a new Planet of the Apes film, which is officially in the works. Finally,
Yeah.
it'll release sometime in 2027. As of now, 20th Century Studios have not, and probably will not, follow up on a sequel to Free Guy, or have any plans for a Kingsman sequel. That means that we end the Kingsman universe with a Thanos reveal of Hitler. Yeah.
Well, so Argyle. They hinted at that in Argyle.
Oh, and Argyle too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, huh? They did hint.
You know what? I'd like to believe that
Hold on, but in all fairness, they did say that it wasn't a Kingsman sequel. They never said anything about an Argyle sequel.
they didn't say exactly. Yeah.
So
That could be
maybe they're just gonna combine the two, and it's gonna be Argyle 2.
I just want to. I saw on Twitter where someone was just like, crazy to believe that the Kingsman revealed Hitler as if it was Thanos.
Yeah.
That was still so weird.
No, I love it. That was
Like,
great.
you get hyped for Hitler reveal.
I was like, yeah. The next step.
Yeah.
Like,
How did the Kingsman not take out Hitler?
yeah.
What
How
happened?
did? What?
Like,
Exactly.
How did they not take out Hitler? Like, I feel like.
Like, Hitler won.
Yeah, I feel like they should.
Nye.
Unless were they in the bunker? Did they light him on fire?
Unless Hitler was just an idea and not a person.
Right.
Or unless the aliens
no.
actually took Hitler away and
Or they
put
killed him
back
too
to the center
early.
of the-
Are you trying? What are you trying to
Or
say?
Hitler was just clones of Hitler.
Are you just trying to say? Is Hitler Batman? Like, what is this?
He's Hitler Batman. To some he was. To some he was.
He's an ideal. Like he's an idea. It doesn't matter who's behind the mustache.
Doesn't matter who's behind Mein Kampf.
And they wrote the book.
He did write the book.
Yeah.
He did write
When
the
you
book.
kill one Hitler, another Hitler takes its place.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
like a cockroach. He's like some would say a hydra.
Oh.
That was good. That's too good. All right, so going into Marvel news, Tom Holland officially announces last week, as of last week when this podcast records or releases, that they are officially filming Spider-Man 4, which will begin filming summer of 2025. This was announced when he was a guest on the Jimmy Fallon show. So before we get into this conversation of Spider-Man 4, a couple of things have been announced. So after Tom Holland did reveal that they were starting filming for Spider-Man 4, Sony did announce that they're locking in a release date of July 24th, 2026. This release date is right behind Christopher Nolan's next film, which will release July 17th, 2024. This means that Tom Holland will have 2 movies coming out, or one movie coming out one week and then the next one coming out the next week where he's starring in it because he's in the Christopher Nolan film as well.
Dang.
They officially
Wow,
announced
wow.
it. Yeah.
Good
So
fiscal
he's in
year
back
for
to
him.
back. Yeah, he's gonna be busy. He's gonna be very busy. Rumors of Destin Daniel Cretton, Shang-Chi's director, are growing stronger. I think Deadline officially announced that he is set to direct this next Spider-Man film, which is great. And then the rumor that's not as strong, but it's still kind of like flowing around there, is Sydney Sweeney is in talks of joining the cast as Black Cat.
Yeah, I'm okay with all that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Same.
It's interesting to think that like
Gimme.
You know what would be really interesting though? What about a Shang-Chi 2 instead?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't give me more of the same. Just because you've been kicked in the nuts a couple of times, give me new.
so.
Like
Give me Defenders. Give me a
yeah,
Defenders.
Give me
like,
Defenders.
I don't
Give
know.
me. There's
Just
a
have
lot of
catalog of characters.
There's a lot of
Use
properties
it.
that we're just
Jeez.
not using in Marvel.
Okay.
In which I think they're just going back to what we know
They
sells.
probably don't test well with like focus groups or something. That's probably why they don't like
well, think
use
about
certain characters.
Think about the groups of people that are watching MCU films now. It's not just the nerds. It's a lot of normies that are watching.
The modern audience.
Yeah, it's a modern
So-
audience.
Exactly. So, with that said, the MCU release window is as follows. Captain America Brave New World is February 14th of 2025. Thunderbolts May 2nd, 2025. Fantastic Four July 25th, 2025. Avengers Doomsday May 1st, 2026. Spider-Man 4 July 24th, 2026. And then Avengers Secret Wars May 7th, 2027. In this slate,
So Spider-Man is just before the Avengers and right after Doomsday.
exactly.
Yeah. That's
And
interesting.
yes, and they haven't announced anything yet with that piece of news. Blade has been removed from the slate
slate,
completely. Again, I don't know how many times they can beat that thing to the ground
man.
because it never left hiatus, and then every couple of months it's like, guys, we put it back in hiatus. Like, when
Yeah.
did it come out of hiatus?
It was in limbo, then it got back to life again. And
They
it's
literally
like,
killed
yeah.
it in limbo like
Yeah.
4 times already.
I feel bad for Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
He would've
Why
been
he's
great.
earning bank,
Actors,
dude.
actors, and people who work in the industry should be able to sue the production companies if they're signing up for a job and they sign the contracts and they're getting dicked over.
in,
and nothing
in-
happens.
in all fairness, a lot of actors, especially like Mahershala Ali, especially like Christopher Nolan or anything like that, they have a pay or play stipulation in their contract, which means this is how much you pay me, whether we make the movie or not.
Yeah.
If the movie doesn't get made, I still get this money just
do
by
you-
signing the contract.
Why do you think that Mahershala Ali hasn't had any kind of problems with Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Like there's no lawsuit.
He's a chill guy. He doesn't really. There's really never any controversy. He doesn't have anything to really say negatively about other people or projects that he's
I get
worked
that,
with
but
or
also
on.
he's been paid.
He's getting paid.
And he's been paid.
Yeah, and he's been paid.
So-
there's no. I have no grievance against you. I'm getting paid for my work, and every single time you go off on a hiatus and then you go, oh, we're coming back. You got to keep paying me that check, man. And then they go back on hiatus, and then you bring me back, and then I'm back in the chair, in the creator's chair, because he was going to be an executive producer on this one. They just keep giving him money, and he doesn't have to do a whole lot of work.
Lucky.
So
I mean,
I'm down to wake up and make $3 million.
Yeah.
I mean, the contract is probably like, listen, we'll pay you a certain amount until the movie comes out. So he's getting like a check every couple of months or so
Probably.
just to sit on it. And the contract probably says, like, when we start filming, just be ready. Even if you're not in any... Has he been in anything?
He hasn't really been in anything.
So he's just sitting on checks.
He's literally just waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, if he's not complaining about it, that means that he's getting paid.
No. Yeah. He's happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's an actor. Like, he probably needs a refresher and some stuff, and he'll pick up a role here and there, but till I hear a lawsuit, I don't see a problem with it.
I just want these production companies to be held accountable for their actions. And
It's Hollywood.
It's
Why?
Hollywood.
exactly.
No,
I know that there's really no way of doing it
They'll
or having it happen.
not only that, but also it's really hard for me to say this movie has to get made because funding could
Yes,
fall
it does.
through.
Yes,
Funding
it
could fall
does.
through. Everything could fall through. The actor could fall through. There's a lot of stuff that can kill a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I don't know. You're right, though, that they're not really focusing on any other characters. They have so many other people that they could do, and they're really just focusing on the ones that they know they can sell. Rumor has it that they just want to get the multiverse over and done with.
Yeah.
It was. And don't get me wrong, the multiverse is a very interesting concept. I feel that if that was the case, they should have done what they were doing with Loki and have it in the background and then have another thing going on.
Or just
Because a lot of the times that,
continue with what they had planned with Kang.
but don't get me. Well, that's the thing though. Kang really does take place in the multiverse. Like it's really hard to say have a Kang story and not have it in the multiverse.
They
I
should have
feel.
recasted him.
I feel like either you recast Kang or you should have done it where there was another big bad that they're dealing with. You could have had anybody else. There's so many big bads in Marvel. You could have had this other through line. And then the TV shows, like they were doing for Loki and everything like that, were kind of dealing with this multiverse problem. Like, oh my God, like this is still a problem that's kind of happening. And none of our main characters know what's going on because it's happening in the multiverse.
So I want to see what happens with Agatha at the end, because it kind of makes it seem like if this rumor's true that they're just trying to get rid of the multiverse saga as quickly as possible. Their main focus is probably the mutant saga, and they want to just get to the mutants as quick as possible because there's so many suckers out there that love.
But that's going into the
Love
same
the
thing.
X-Men.
But that's going into the same thing of we're just doing more of the same thing.
Yeah.
So now we went from doing
But it's
Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America to
Wolverine,
now we're
Cyclops.
going to be doing
and-
Wolverine, Cyclops, and the X-Men.
The last
Magneto.
big risk character that they did was Moon Knight, because no one really knew about Moon Knight.
Agatha, I would say.
No.
Agatha was not as huge as
In-
as most people.
Agatha got a series because she was already in a show. Moon
Yes.
Knight got a show because he had no show. We never
So
saw.
you're talking about doesn't
Yes.
have an association with
no
anything.
association. They took a bet on a character and they went with it. You know, and
I'll
I
give
think
you
that
that.
was the last character that they did.
I give
That
you
in Eternals. That Eternals and Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
She-Hulk.
Shang-Chi, She-Hulk. I would nobody likes She-Hulk.
No.
I think She-Hulk was just there was a lot of problems with She-Hulk, and I feel like there was a lot of, and I feel like that's where they maybe feel burned, is that a lot of is because we all asked for new things, and then they were like, here's Shang-Chi, here's She-Hulk, here's the Immortals, here's all these people,
And it didn't sell.
and then it didn't sell, and they were like, okay,
No,
but
because they
you
didn't
guys
do a good job.
Shang-Chi was great.
Shang-Chi was.
But the thing is
Yes.
that like Shang-Chi was amazing and Shang-Chi did really well, but that was the outlier in that group. If you were to go like, oh, Shang-Chi, God dang it. If you were to go like Shang-Chi did really well, and then you go like, what was it called? Captain Marvel did terrible. What was it called? Which She-Hulk, not that great. But the problem is that they took a lot of leaps, and they also went very we're gonna aim for this woke audience, and very like blah
They
blah
fan
blah.
serviced
They
in a
really
way.
fan serviced and really,
ESG scores.
but the problem was that when you fan service, you also really limit your audience.
The thing
It
is,
circled. They circled in that audience, and they were like, they were trying to hit it so hard that they just couldn't hit the mark.
what's a shame is that there were a lot of these projects where I found like appeals to them. Like Miss Marvel, I enjoyed. I didn't think it was terrible, but I also didn't think it was great. I think it was good.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, it was pretty
It was
good.
fun. Yeah.
She-Hulk, I can understand where it kept taking wrong turns, but at its core, there was potential they didn't take advantage of.
Yeah.
And then Moon Knight, I think my biggest complaint with Moon Knight was it was split up into 3 sections where the first 2 episodes were pretty bad. And then like the middle part was like pretty interesting. And then the third part was like, okay, kind of lost me again, but I'm still invested.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. You're right. I think they are burnt out, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with the rest of the MCU. Real quick, Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft has been renewed for a 2nd season at Netflix. Seems interesting. I just don't understand the controversy of people finally getting a buff Lara Croft, and then all of a sudden people hate it.
She looks kind of gross, to be honest, and I like buff animated women.
I think it's just the animation style.
Yeah,
Probably.
The style is gross.
But it did get a 2nd season. Mandalorian Grogu has officially wrapped filming. Film is on track to be released May 22nd of 2026.
Hard.
So that's something to look forward to. Last week was James Gunn and Peter Safran's official 2-year anniversary as co-chairs and co-CEOs of DC Studios. The slate of projects announced continues to grow, with some of them being released this year. I think Creature Commandos is releasing in December.
They showed the trailer.
Yeah, which is pretty sick. Apparently, episode 6 or something like that is James Gunn. He said that is one of his greatest works that he's proud of because he wrote it in a way that's very sentimental and emotional.
Well, that's
which would be interesting.
Which I thought was really interesting too, because I'm really looking forward to seeing how James Gunn and Safran did this, because he's very much nitpicking, where he's going, this is in the universe, that's not. This is in the universe, that's not. That's not. And it's like, okay, cool, but what cut all these things out of this universe? Like, what was the action, or what was the event that shook everything up to then say, cool, Peacemaker exists, Harley Quinn exists, you have all Rick Flag and all the events of Suicide Squad and everything else happened. Everything else in the in the DCU did not happen, and we don't have them anymore.
So I love the relationship between Peter Safran and James Gunn, because I feel like Peter Safran is the man in the chair, and James Gunn is the face.
The idealist.
Not even the idealist. He's just been the representation of DC Studios.
I feel like he's the one that has the thicker skin.
You think that it's thicker skin, or you think it's just proper marketing?
He's got thick skin.
I think he's got really thick skin. He
He
knows.
got canceled
yeah.
pretty hard.
It wasn't a good cancel though.
It was not. So he has some thick skin. He didn't let it bog him down or stop.
Not only that, but also like just the amount of hate he's been getting for Superman and Creature Commanders and everything else, and just going like, you suck, and like it's just ridiculous.
Him just being in love with everything. And
and him just going like, I love every single thing I do and everything else. And
James Gunn is winning, dude. I don't care what people say. He's winning. He
There
got
was-
married.
I hired all the
Hot
people I
wife.
love, and they all made a movie. We all made a movie together. And it's fun. And then everybody going like, "You're dumb, James. You're dumb.
Stop what you're doing!
Right.
Stop making things you love.
Right?
Make things
Why'd you
you
make
hate.
Crypto a tiny dog? Because he was a tiny. Shut up! Not in my eyes.
He should be a bloodhound.
Should be a white Labrador dog. Should be like in the cartoon.
I want to.
He needs a voice sound like The Rock.
No, Chris Pratt.
You know what? Now I want him to be a nice Shih Tzu. I just want him to be a really tiny dog,
Pomeranian.
like a nice little Pomeranian.
That's Crypto. Lowest
Can we
pick.
get Crypto be a what's it called? Is it a Shih Tzu? The Japanese dogs?
Yeah, it's a Shih Tzu.
That's a
Shih
Shih Tzu.
Tzu,
Okay. It's just it's just a little sound.
Just make Ace a bloodhound. That's still like,
Oh my
Yes,
God! Every single
yeah.
time, just do whatever animal you want, and then just combine it with a Chihuahua.
So
And then,
hang on.
have you seen those? They're adorable.
They are adorable, but hang on. If James Gunn included a Crypto in this Superman movie, then when they start doing the Batman movie, you can't leave Ace out.
Well, yeah, you have to have an ace.
You have to have an Ace.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
I want it.
absolutely, and I also want the Flash to have a turtle.
James Gunn and Peter Safran made DC fun again. I don't care what anyone says.
No, yeah.
You know what? And also with the Creature Commandos and the way that they're kind of pitching them, it's different.
Yeah.
And I feel like what James Gunn did is James Gunn looked at Marvel's slate and then went, "That's really boring.
Yeah.
We should do something completely different."
Let's take what they do and not do it.
Yeah.
And let's
Not
do
even that,
this.
just like okay, so what? That's the benefit that I feel like DC has compared to Marvel, because Marvel has always been this world that takes place in our world. It's all it has a lot of like our cities, our presidents, it takes place in like our time.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, and Marvel very much takes place in this world of what would happen if superheroes were real in our world.
Yeah.
DC, and I love it so much, is because it's a fantasy world. Like everything about it is a fantasy world. They're not in New York. They're not in in Detroit. They're not in anywhere else. They're in Gotham. They're in Metropolis. They're in Central City, and they're supposed to be amalgamations of these cities. And it's super, and you can have fun with that.
We will get out of Joker too, and he's just like, "Why was it called the Joker versus New York City?" Was Nick's first complaint. And you're right. You're
The
right.
Joker versus New York City.
What the
And they were
hell,
like-
dude? I thought we
yeah.
were in Gotham.
I was like, I thought they were in Gotham, and they were like, yeah, but Gotham's in New York. And I was like, when did that get established?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you watch Joker
You didn't
too?
watch Joker 2.
I didn't watch Joker.
In
2.
Joker 2, when they're bringing up the court case, he then says, it's the people of New York versus Joker, versus whatever his name.
But
is.
you
Yeah,
didn't
Arthur
point it out
Fleck.
until the end of the movie. It was like, wait, hold up. Was this was it in New York? And I'm like, I think they were referencing New York,
the
the
state.
state. And he's like, no, because it's the people of New York, and usually that's a city. And I'm like, well, I don't know.
Well,
dude.
because that's how court
You
systems
know what?
work.
Let's just not acknowledge the existence of that
Well,
dumpster fire.
No, because okay, I know this is a
the
tangent,
movie's
but I get it, and I totally understand that, but I think somebody didn't do their research. Like somebody didn't go to a court and just go like, oh, how do we address things? Because it's a city. Just because it's just like the people of Los Angeles versus whoever, the Menendez brothers, or anything else, or like the federal government versus P Diddy, whatever it may be. It's always like this city and all the crimes that you did in this place are against you, not a full state.
To quote Nick, as we descended the stairs to the exit, I could poop on a table and call it art.
In all fairness, when I was walking out, it was because when I said
No, that's you know who said it. We
I
can
know.
say his name.
Because I was talking to Junior, and Junior specifically said it was art. Like he goes, I liked it. It was art, and I then turned to Bryan, and I was like, I could have pooped on a table and called it art. It's not, that doesn't make it so.
The thing is, look, in no way do I think that Junior should ever take offense to that. I think we kind of like had to put our own take on it because all of us agreed. Even T agreed. I think like she was
thought
like,
it was okay.
Yeah, she thought it was okay, but I don't think she said it was art.
She thought it was alright.
Yeah.
I also think that he was joking about the art.
I kind of hope so.
Because I heard the sarcasm of like it was art.
Now
Like,
at this point, Junior has picked up his phone and started typing in the comment section. But I actually do think it's art.
it's like the Mona Lisa movie.
Oh no!
The Mona Lisa, if the activists got to it and started dumping tomato soup on it for real.
It's the Jackson Pollock of art. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Just a lot of it's just a lot
It's
of,
the
like,
blank canvas
scat
of
play.
art, dude. It's just an attempt to do nothing. Last piece of comic strip news: John Wick is officially 10 years old. Film will be re-released in theaters within the coming weeks in its celebration. Here are some fun facts about the movie. I think
Shades
this
of
was
Grey
already
is also 10 years old.
what?
Woo-hoo!
What?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Came out the same weekend.
But no one cares about that.
No.
Came out the
Oh,
same
yeah.
weekend.
It's funny how John Wick is getting the recognition, not 50 Shades. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Came out
Damn,
the same
dude.
weekend.
Okay, well, that was a fun fact for me. I didn't write in. But I don't know if you guys knew about this, but the film execs were skeptical of the film's dark motives. Killing a dog in a film was considered taboo, and execs were afraid. But the showrunners pushed for the dog to be killed in the movie,
Yes.
which allowed it to be as successful as it is. Also, the film was never supposed to exist because of financial gapping. It was out $6 million, and guess who stepped in to save the day?
Keanu.
No.
Willem Dafoe.
No.
Hold on.
Kevin Smith.
No. It was a woman.
Oh. Patty Jenkins.
No. You won't
Betty
never
White.
guess this. Ava Longoria.
Really?
Ava Longoria donated
I can
or
see that.
gave I don't think she donated, but I think she invested the $6 million to allow the film to continue.
She's in
Quote-
she's in Only Murders in a Building right now.
Yeah, she's real good.
She's really good.
Quote from Chad Stahelski, the director of the film: "We were less than a week out, and we lost almost $6 million on a gap financing. We were financing independently to get the bond, but one of the investors couldn't raise the money in time. Ava came to the rescue, and she provided the gap financing literally less than 24 hours before we had to lock the doors on the movie and walk away. The way this was told to the rest of the cast was over dinner by one of the producers when they took him out after the filming was done."
I don't know why I kept thinking, because they ran out of money basically.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how much did it cost for a bullet shot in each scene of that movie? Because then I started thinking about the Key and Peele skit of the guy when he gets like a certain amount of money, he makes his own music video, and it shows the start of his budget, and then throughout the thing,
it's like CGI.
yeah, it starts dwindling down his funding, and then when it reaches to like $1, it goes into like a normal camcorder and him in his backyard. Yeah, and it was like the most expensive parts of it too. He just had to do it himself.
I don't know what gap financing is.
Gap.
Gap financing.
Do you want the Google
Yeah,
definition?
look it up.
Yeah. Man behind the chair over there. But that brings
I-
us to the
I
end
think-
of comic strips.
It could be that she was first money in, first money out.
I think she just. What do you mean?
Mostly associated with mortgage loans or property loans, such as bridge loan. It is
Had nothing to do with film. So that,
interim loan given to finances, to the finance with different degrees or whatever.
so then it was just a loan
Yeah, it's
by
just
an
a loan.
investor, and then they never came up with the money. So
Yeah.
they were out
Taxable
$6 million.
loan that they could find.
Oh, okay. So
Track
they were
She-
looking
she-
in to get a certain funding, and it never went through.
Oh,
never
she had
went
she had a nice tax write off for it
Yeah,
too.
there you go.
That's
You
probably
think-
why she did it too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Obviously.
The fact that it's Ava Longoria, like I kind of now want to
Smash, yeah.
No, in all fairness,
Yeah.
she knows good. She does know good properties.
It's just so
She does.
weird to see someone who like you see in something that's not related to
Desperate
the things.
Housewives?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
from Desperate Housewives to investing in John Wick. What? Like that's so
Right.
weird. But I mean,
Does
thank
she
you.
know Keanu?
Maybe.
I don't know. It
Maybe
could've
they're
also,
neighbors?
No, but it could have also just been like a producer that was also on like.
Oh,
Desperate
that's true.
Housewives.
It could have been all, but you know, I would have thought
So-
Sandra Bullock
Really? Why?
because they have had like a kind of complicated relationship where they like did like each other. They remained friends. They respected each other.
Yeah, but also I feel like that becomes weird.
To have a friend invest in something you're in.
Yeah, but I mean, like Ava Longoria, she probably had a lot of money. She probably needed a nice, solid tax write-off.
Yeah, she probably got a bunch of residuals from Desperate Housewives.
And around that time is when Desperate Housewives was really hot.
Yeah.
So she probably had like, oh, hey, you need to like find something to invest in.
Yeah.
And then she heard about the project from a producer or something like that.
Let me help
and
the poor.
Not only that, but also no matter what, if the movie gets made or it doesn't, I still get my tax write-off.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank
So
you,
I
Ava.
mean, Ava gave us a really dope series. I'm really happy about it. Keanu Reeves is freaking ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for her.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end. We'll talk about Venom now.
Venom.
I want to know what you wrote.
Oh, that's right. Before we move on to Venom. Bluey!
Right. Bluey with the blood on his head.
Yeah, we did things. Bluey will never be the same. So, because it is the season of the spookies and everything like that, that also means that we're a month away from the Christmas times.
Oh, you're doing Secret Santa. I kind of
Yeah.
figured.
Oh,
We
so we're
always do-
finding out who Secret Santa is.
Yeah, we're doing.
Okay.
We're gonna find out who Secret Santa is.
What was the rule last time? It was no more than 20
no more than
bucks?
$20.
Yeah.
Was it 20 or 25?
Think
25.
I think we gave leeway to if it's $25, that's fine.
20
20's the
Because
max,
20 was
but
the-
if it's
Without
20,
tax.
yes, if it's
because you got me the Charizard.
yes.
Yes.
So 20 to $25.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I get to participate or?
Yes.
Yeah, your name is in there.
Oh, awesome, cool.
Yeah.
What did you're here? Why would you not
I
participate?
put 4.
We literally.
We're gonna trade gifts and just make you watch.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. We
You're
should do that.
officially a member as a year
Reminds me of
4.
my childhood.
You're credited in the title sequence.
All right, let me take Sean's out. Let me look at it.
You have to eat it.
Well, Sean doesn't get now.
Now Sean doesn't get anything. He said something, so now.
But he has to get someone something.
All right.
I'm glad we got this on recording.
Remember, if you get yourself, put it back in.
Okay.
What if you didn't get yourself and you just don't like the person?
That was rough.
I didn't want Bryan. I'm gonna laugh if you got me again.
Yeah.
Don't. I can read through. I almost saw, but I didn't.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
I don't know why mine says penis. I didn't
Nope.
write that. Well, that one's yours.
Let's see. Who did I get? Something doesn't make sense.
What?
What?
I got mine.
Really?
Okay, Nick, you have your name.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Can
you
we
do.
reveal who we
You
got?
are-
Yeah.
Hang on. We
yeah.
have to reshuffle
no,
again.
No,
We'll
I'm
reshuffle.
gonna show. I'm gonna show. I got Rene. If you got yourself,
I got me.
Rene obviously got me, and then you have yourself.
Who'd you get?
I got Nick.
Who'd you get?
I got Sean.
Oh. Then how did you get yourself, Brian?
How did you get you?
Oh, because he's the last person. Okay, it makes sense.
Oh, no, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Because the three of us got each other.
Yeah.
It seems like something you would do, though.
All right. In the thing it goes again.
Yeah.
That's really funny. It just came out the odds like that.
Yeah. You should have not said anything.
Wait, hold
and just
on.
gone. That would have been funny.
That
got myself.
that would have been hilarious
Yeah.
if you would have been like, all right, now I got this for this person.
Yeah.
They're super special in my heart.
Right? Just hype it up. I'm so happy I got this person.
I
'cause
got
they're-
myself Alien
Wait,
Romulus
yeah.
on VHS,
Yeah.
guys.
All right, hold on one
Nice.
second. All right, this time, Brian's gonna choose first.
Yeah.
Still gets himself. Still gets himself. You really thought I would do that? You really accused me?
Damn it!
Yeah.
You get yourself?
I got myself, dude.
Stop
Yeah.
touching that paper. You really thought I did that? You think I would cheat like that?
I was like, because you
Oh my god! I'm
you
just
might have
kidding.
been scheming.
I would've been scheming.
You might have been scheming something.
You really thought I got myself? He didn't, but he got me.
Well, I know that now, yeah, obviously, but at the time I didn't,
At the
so
time
I
of
assumed
my
that.
jacuzzi.
The time of my
Yeah.
jacuzzi.
Somehow, Sean ends up picking himself.
Oh, it's a possibility.
Now I'm really worried.
Yeah.
This even number stuff got weird.
No.
No?
We're
Okay.
good?
No?
We're
Everybody's
solid?
good?
Yeah.
Everybody's
Okay. We're
good?
good.
Everybody has somebody different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
Truth
your
time.
name.
Truth time.
Everyone, who'd you get? No, just
as,
kidding.
as much as it would be funny. Just
Are we good?
Okay, everybody's got it?
Yes.
All right,
Okay, I
sounds
gotta
good.
check again.
What do you mean? It's one name. How did you not remember?
It changed.
It changed in the
Okay,
changed
2
I
his
just had
minutes.
to make sure. I had to make sure.
In the 2 minutes
Check
that
it
you
again.
looked at it.
Oh my god, it's a different name.
No, check it. Check the bag again. It's your baby.
I'm gonna put it in here.
You're gonna forget it, or it's
Now
gonna fall on the floor,
fall.
Now it's safe.
or attach it to your necklace
Hang on.
with the drill bit.
Okay, there we go. I'll put it under the tip. There you go. now it's safe.
All right, let's talk about Last Dance.
Well, I was looking at our algorithm and it said that we should show more boob.
That's not what it said.
Boobalicious.
That's. Did you read the Twitch algorithm?
Yeah, it said more titty.
Or
That makes sense.
No, it said no nipple, but more titty.
more titty, more cleavage.
yeah, more
It's fine.
cleavage. So I was like,
You gotta take a page from Nora Fahn's book and do it sexy with a little bit of titty.
yeah, there we go.
Just
All
a
right.
little bit.
Just a little bit.
A
A
little.
little peach fuzz too.
Sean,
Just
did you watch Venom?
No.
Venom.
I know. I just wanted to.
Do I look brain dead to you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I only
Okay, now
watch
you're
art.
definitely
I
gonna
only
go
watch-
see.
So
Okay, no, 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 no,
Can
no.
we take? Can we take his
Like
paper back?
long
No, no,
No,
legs.
we're not Sean. Rip it up. He's not getting
We're
presents.
gonna get him a ticket for Craven, and he has to watch it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited for
Yeah.
Craven.
Oh,
Actually.
shut up.
I am.
Shut up, dude.
Okay, hold on. Excited is a strong word.
That was a strong word.
I'm
was a very
anticipating
strong
the
word.
release of Craven solely because I do like the
You're
actor.
anticipating. We're all anticipating it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It's the last one in the chamber.
I'm happily anticipating it. Okay.
Listen, Buffalo Bill, chill out, all right?
No.
Puts the lotion on the
Puts the
skin
lotion
unless
on
it gets the hose again.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Puts the
Listen,
lotion on the skin and then it gets the hose again.
I don't know why it was so funny because I hadn't seen that you took your wig off. So when I finally looked at you and you have the skin mask on, I was like, why does he look like Buffalo Bill from over here?
Why do you keep taking your headphones off?
Because
I think he's bored.
Just leave the freaking hairnet on, or
I don't want to.
then
needs to
why
make
do
a
you keep putting
choice.
it? Yeah, make a choice.
You keep putting it on and off.
This is a much better conversation than the entire Venom movie.
Rob you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Try me, dude.
Rob is joy.
Pull your pants down.
Oh, damn, dude.
Suck the
That
money.
was a little
Suck the money out of you. You don't want to come across me in a dark alley alone.
Look, Nick did have you tied up for the skit, so.
Oh, is that my wallet?
No, it's my
No,
wallet.
that's it. Take his cards. Take his cards. Take his ID.
Just threw my wallet at you.
Take it for everything, dude. Take it for everything.
I don't have my phone. I was gonna take a picture of his credit card. And I know his
Joke's on you. They're
I
all
know his
maxed
area
out.
code too.
Oh my God,
Here you go.
That's true.
Damn, dude.
Criminal.
You didn't think that one through, did you, buddy?
I thought it was a funny joke, and then
Then he pointed out the big mistake in it.
then he pointed out the fact that it was very real. And now I want my wallet back.
Right?
You did
I'm
get it
scared.
back.
I know, I got it back, and I'm super happy about it.
Check
So
your
Venom.
last 3 transactions now.
Something we didn't get back is our time.
Venom was weird.
So, okay, I'm trying to understand why you guys came out of that theater going like, it was okay. And I'm like, no.
I slept through most of it.
I know. We let you sleep.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Dude,
Yeah, he took a nap.
because I was starting to come down with a cold.
Oh.
So I think that's what really hit me because I had gone to work. I've been going to work with a cold, and I
going to
did
work
not.
cold.
Yeah, I did go to work cold. I was freezing. Anyway,
And here he is.
I went to
showing his
work.
chest.
Well, now I feel better.
That's good.
It's the power
Put
of
some
Sudafed.
vapor up.
It's the power of Sudafed. Anyway, when we walked in, I was like, I can't wait to see this movie. And then I even knew I was
you
tired
didn't.
too. I knew I was tired too because I bought a Monster. I had specifically bought
yeah.
a Monster so that way I could drink it and I can like stay awake.
But you officially have said, and you've gone on record to say that monsters don't affect you.
They do not. So I thought it would. It put me to sleep like it was a warm bottle.
So the thing is that Nick,
warm cup
within
of
like
milk.
10 minutes of the film, all I hear him go is, and I nudged him because he was snoring hard, and I'm like, oh, he's like, okay. But then afterwards, he adjusted himself, and you just hear,
It was just
and I'm just
breathing.
like, all right, dude, it's fine. Go to sleep. This movie sucks. Look, I'll be honest.
It wasn't worth me missing. the
Worse
scene.
than the second one?
Yes.
Would you guys?
The second one was great.
Actually, the second one comparatively was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second one was great.
Comparatively,
I'm still
There-
trying to understand Andy's thought process that the first one was better than the second one.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Are you serious,
I
too?
think the first one's better than the second one.
What is wrong with you guys?
It was a missed opportunity on Carnage. Woody Harrelson or Woody Allen.
Woody
Harrelson?
Woody
You're
Harrelson.
Yeah.
He has a history of playing psychopathic killers
He was pretty
in a lot of stuff.
psychopathic.
No, not compared
Okay.
to his other stuff.
In all fair, okay, I'm gonna okay.
Are you joining his side?
No, secret time. I have fallen asleep in every single Venom movie.
That's
I have.
Look, since we're all
Every
revealing
single-
truths here, right?
We're all revealing truths. I fell asleep at the end of Venom 1.
All right, what's your
All right,
secret?
Venom
Renee?
2, I fell asleep in the middle of Venom 2, and then I woke up in the church.
You won't wait in the church scene or in a church?
I woke up in the church scene when they get to the church.
He was watching Venom 2, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Why I'm in the church? What's going on?"
And then,
I'm sorry, Jesus.
and then Venom 1, I woke up and they were in Vegas, and I was like, what is going on? But the worst part is that every single time I woke up and he was in a new location, I was never lost.
So you never
matter how
question
much-
like, how did we get here?
Yeah, never, at no point in that movie have I ever fallen asleep and then been like, whoa, there was a lot of stuff that happened during the 30 minutes I was asleep. No, it was usually, dude, you missed nothing. You missed 30 minutes of them just in a hippie's van
Yeah.
and
Or
singing
talking to
and talking.
Yeah.
To the dad.
Oh yeah, we had a Venom horse. I fell asleep during the Venom horse. Like they were like, "Oh look, it's a Venom horse," and I remember seeing it and just going. And
Venom
then fell
became a
asleep.
fish who ate another fish,
And it became a frog.
and then
Yeah.
and then the horse, and
I-
then it. I don't know what else to do.
And then it just kind of like escalated, and you're kind of like, okay, cool. And then they just introduced all of these like other symbiotes for like no reason
Here's the-
whatsoever. And I am positive, I am so positive that the popcorn bucket was made before the movie was finished editing.
Probably.
Oh.
So
Because
big
they're
time.
yeah.
because Anti-Venom is not in the movie.
No,
Yeah,
he
they-
is.
they
He
were
is in the
telling
movie.
me.
So this is what I was telling.
Was it
them.
the white one that I was
Yes.
saying?
So here's what pisses
Why
me
would
off.
that be Anti-Venom?
Because they're stupid, Nick. Because they don't understand.
not how that
You know
works.
why? Because people that like the Venom series and like this movie are people that like wear the Venom shirts like they wear Punisher shirts.
Oh,
they think it
those-
means something when it doesn't.
No, that
Listen,
means-
it
that
means
doesn't mean
nothing.
anything.
You're not cool because Venom is edgy. You just think Venom is cool because he's black. That's all it is.
No, he's just basically saying that you grew up in the 90s.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
Venom is so cool, and Carnage is serial. Oh God, Cream. No, you're not, dude. It doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't. This Venom was fun, but it's not the greatest thing to ever happen. The other thing that pisses me off about the symbiote fight in this movie is that it's fine. You can use your goggles. Here's the thing that pisses me off. When you think of any other symbiote, right? It's not just the color that is shown that differentiates the symbiotes. They've got like totally different designs. Agony, Scream, Toxin.
Was there a Christmas
Phage.
one? I think there was a Christmas.
That would see, but why the hell does that
It
matter?
was like red and green, yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Well, not only that, but also there was a Christmas because what was her name? It was Christmas. Or,
I don't know.
She had like a Christmas tree on her shirt.
Yeah, that was all it
She had
was.
a Christmas tree on her
But-
shirt, and then the symbiote goes on her, which also I don't understand why she let Venom out. There was no like.
There's no
scene.
context.
There was no So there's okay. So hold on. Let me put into context. I'm gonna put into context.
You're
what
gonna
they didn't
rewrite the
put-
story for them?
No, because it doesn't make any sense.
write
and
the
I
story
feel-
for
and
them.
I feel like if you're listening, you don't understand why we're confused. There's a scene where
I don't even
Eddie
understand
and
why I'm
them where Eddie and them get captured by this agency,
Hold up.
by the military.
Can we backtrack for just a second, real quick?
Uh-huh.
Because the reason they get caught by the agency is because Venom needed to have a moment with the lady from the first Venom.
It was
Like,
super shoehorned in.
We were literally in a place where they were not found. They could have just gone on and left Vegas, but Venom was like, "Come on, let me have one more dance with her. Let me have the last dance."
You know what the worst part? Here was the worst part. They mentioned.
problems.
See, and that was the thing though, is that I thought that when they mentioned, because in the movie they specifically mentioned it's going to be a road trip movie and we're going to New York. So I thought the movie was going to end in New York because that's usually how road trip movies end.
You get to your destination.
You get to your destination and the movie ends, and then whatever happens. You know, whether or not they got to see like the things that they wanted. Because Venom specifically says, "I want to see Liberty Island." Like that's the big thing that he wants to see while he's in New York. And they made it from San Francisco, or no, they made it from Mexico to Nevada.
Yes. So
That
they
was
made
it.
from Mexico,
That was it.
they stopped in Arizona, then they were in Nevada, and they get to Vegas, and then from Vegas they went to Area 51.
Yes,
Literally,
and
there
the movie
was like-
ends in Area 51,
Yes.
and then Eddie.
No. Venom's story ends in Area 51.
Venom's story ends in Area 51, and then Eddie's story ends in New York.
Because guess what, Sean? Venom dies. Venom, he dies, dude. He
Dies to acid.
He dies to acid.
Yeah.
And you're supposed.
Wait, acid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was
Dies
it,
to acid.
bro?
So
Like an acid shower.
everything
Yeah.
in this movie is literally like it's like it's not shown.
I'm gonna
it's
say a bad
taught.
word.
Not
Like
only
you're
that,
gonna say-
gonna
I'm gonna
say
say
a
a bad
bad
word.
word.
I'm gonna say the word. What word, Sean? The N word? Is that what you want to say?
what the hell?
Yeah, they neglect brain cells. they clearly. Oh my.
You know what I felt like? Have you seen that TikTok where what was it? Where it's like a little girl, and then she runs up to her mom and she's like, "Can I say a bad word? Can I say a bad word?" And then she goes, "Yeah, sure." And then she just like starts just going off on her little sister, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my God, where did you learn these words? Now my favorite one is the meme where it's like the
That's
daughter.
what Sean was right now.
The daughter hands a piece of paper to like their parent, and it says "See you next time," but it's just the first letters of everything, so it's C U N T.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Anyway,
back to the movie that doesn't make sense.
Venom dies.
Right.
So Venom dies in Area 51. Not only that, but also for some reason, we then have this alien family, this family of like alien hunters that are like that Eddie bumps into and then bums a ride to Vegas.
See, but they were cute.
This is where I clock out of the conversation.
No. But here's my thing though. I don't understand why they're there.
Yeah.
They're there
Like
because
why are they at Area? I get it. Not only that, but also, how did they get past the guards at Area 51?
because it is. So like
So you're telling me that this is a military
I'm not
base.
defending this movie. I'm just simply saying it this film is the definition of because it's a film we get to do whatever we want.
No, it's
which
just
makes
lazy.
it
It
is
was
lazy.
lazy.
That's what it is. Because we're a film, because we're a movie, we get to just pretend like everything falls into place, which it doesn't. You're right. The thing about this family is that they actually get more development than Venom does, because
Kinda
you
does,
find out
yeah.
in this movie that the events of Venom to Venom 3 is within 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1 year.
This is
So
all
now
1
here-
year.
So here's
Yeah.
the bizarre thing
Because
about
Eddie
it.
specifically says, "Wow, it's been a wild year."
Yes.
And then he's like, "Yeah, before we weren't friends," and he goes, "Now you're my best friend."
But
And
not
you're
just
like,
But
that.
they ended in a way like the ending is like, oh, they've been friends for more than years.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a codependency, which I understand to a point.
You could have just all you needed to say was the last 5 years have been wild, and I would have been like, "Okay, that
I
makes
believe
sense.
that.
I would have been like, "Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
it's been 5 years."
But
all right.
here's the thing I don't understand is that within a
year?
time span, am I supposed to believe that Venom went from a symbiote that doesn't know anything about human culture to then having a line where he says, "I wish we could have that,"
Yeah.
when he sees the family asleep in the van? Like, it makes no sense.
That and he also knows pop culture songs.
Yes.
He knows David Bowie.
Because he can read his brain, no?
no,
That's no, you don't get to use that excuse. I don't care if it's
he can read his brain though. That is the thing.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also in Venom 2, he does say, "I have the knowledge of every other Venom that's in the multiverse."
I don't.
It is a thing.
It's-
Also, the movie takes a lot of liberties in the very beginning because what they do is they go, "Wow, we really screwed the pooch in two." Like we set up them meeting Tom Holland and everything else, and we cannot deliver. So we're gonna have to just retcon this. So it starts in the MCU universe. That's how the movie starts. It starts with them at the bar. Then immediately them getting sent back to their main timeline universe,
Which was in No Way Home.
which was in No Way, that scene from No Way Home when they get teleported back. And then it's kind of like, okay, cool. Now we hit the ground running in this universe, but Eddie Brock is now a fugitive because they think that he killed the detective that Carnage killed. And now everybody's looking for him, and they're like, "Oh, well, if they're showing this in Mexico, obviously we're not safe. We got to get out of here." And then they were like, "You're right. We're being hunted by the U.S. government. Where should we go? New York."
Which made no sense.
I was like, "What? What do you mean? Why are we going to New
So
York?"
the answer is to go north,
Yeah.
not south. We could have gone Peru. We could have gone Cuba.
But it
we
didn't
could
make
have gone
sense.
Argentina.
It just didn't make any sense of like, oh yeah, like now we just
Argentina
need to-
wasn't even in question.
Yeah, like
That's where everyone
Like I
hides.
get it.
Yeah.
Like I'm being hunted by the San Francisco Police Department. I should really go back to the United States.
The other thing that I was talking to this about Andy. Venom gets almost no screen time in this movie.
I think he has like maybe like 15 minutes.
He
like
has
15 to 20
absolutely
minutes.
no Venom screen time. Like Venom makes appearances, but he isn't allowed to be Venom.
Not
Like
only
he's
that-
not allowed to fight.
I thought that at least for the last one, because he saw Tom Holland on the screen, that he would finally have his logo. Like he would finally
get
have,
that?
He would finally have the spider logo, and he doesn't. And I'm like, it's the last movie, guys. Come on, just give me the give me the Spider-Man.
But it
logo.
makes it so much better when we actually get it in Spider-Man 4.
I mean, I get
potentially.
that. I understand.
You just want it
that.
in this
I don't
movie.
even know if I'm gonna be alive by the time that movie comes out.
Spider-Man 4?
Yeah.
It's 2 years from now.
Who knows? Okay. We got the election right around the corner, bro.
In all fairness, he's not wrong.
The election's right around the corner.
Mark
I need
that
my
time
stuff
for me real quick.
now.
Yeah.
128.
Did I say something bad?
No, I did.
Oh.
Yeah. All I know is
Well, here's another.
no, and that's the thing with this movie. But that's the thing with this movie, though. This movie takes a lot of liberties, and I get it. They're like, okay, we got to be fun. We can't be boring. We got to just keep doing cool stuff. But the problem is that
what was that?
But here is my thing, though. I feel like this movie suffers from a lot of different script writing right now. Is they figure out great clips. Like, they figure out really interesting
You're
clips.
giving it too much credit. This movie didn't suffer from terrible screenwriting. It suffered from just being pitched.
No. Okay.
The fact that this was pitched
I know,
is the problem.
But I feel, I get that. But I feel like what happens is that what somebody did was somebody then went, cool. Okay, so what about if there was a scene where Venom attaches to a horse and then Eddie Brock rides him? Okay, cool. What about if there was a scene where
it's a
Venom?
quill.
Yeah, like what if Venom dances with somebody in Vegas and they have yada yada yada, and then you're like, okay, cool. We have all these scenes. How do we attach them organically? And then there was probably a lot of scenes that they couldn't.
Yeah,
and then they made so many liberties to go like, okay, well, we have to connect it to here.
this is just like this is an attempt to make a human suit out of just different body parts. Like that's all it was.
Because I really thought
get
that the
you
final battle was going to be at the Statue of Liberty,
Which would have been cool.
And then Venom, right before he dies, kind of has that moment of like, well, at least I finally got to see it.
Yeah.
And then sacrifice himself. And I thought that would have been really interesting. Not only that, but also it suffers from having very bland villains.
So did you also notice that no one in the world reacted to anything besides the cast of people we were following? So whenever the xenophages were running around like Vegas, no one noticed that there was a giant 50-foot long creature.
Oh yeah, there was no like camera crews. Right?
No, there was nothing. No one figured
It's
anything
Vegas.
out. So we got to wrap this up because we're reaching an hour 30 something.
It's 131.
31. So here's my biggest complaint about the movie. The fact that it exists, but realistically, the thing I don't like about the praise it's getting about including multiple symbiotes, there's nothing specific about the symbiotes that gets me excited. If you come up to me and be like, "Oh, did you see Anti-Venom and Phage and what,
Asher.
and Agony?" I'm like, yeah, they're basically just the same symbiotes on a different color palette. In the comic books, if you were to tell me the difference between Scream, Agony, Toxin, and Anti-Venom, Scream has long orange red hair. Toxin has that blue red aesthetic. Anti-Venom is white with black stripes and red eyes. This Anti-Venom did not have red eyes.
Not only that, but also it's specifically meant to fight Venom.
Yes.
Like that's the entire point.
And
that's why it's called Anti-Venom.
But again, it's Anti-Venom because of the antigens that were in Eddie Brock's system that allowed it
I know,
to fight
but it's primarily against Venom. Like, that's the reason why you're
it
getting
hates
it hates its creator, and it's made so that way it can then defeat its creator.
Yes. So again, do not come up after me, or do not come up to me and tell me that the symbiotes were the coolest thing. It was a color palette. It was a color palette. Literally, you could just grab a thing of like, what is it called?
They were all the same.
The paint thing that the artists use, and just squirt a bunch of paint on it. And
acrylic paint. Sorry.
The color palette, whatever thing, right?
Yes.
The artist palette, and it just
Yeah.
All right, there's your symbiotes. That's all it was, dude. There's nothing special.
That was the thing, though, is that I feel what they should have done is because Null is out there.
Forgot about Null.
Yeah, because Null is out there and Null knows that the symbiotes are on Earth. I thought it would have been interesting if you were to find out that all the events of 1 and 2 have been leaving symbiotes' places. And like now there's a bunch of symbiotes that are all like that have like traveled all around the world, and now it's like, oh, we have to build an army to defeat Null. Because that's the only way to defeat him is to have all the symbiotes together, and we're building an army to get to Null.
Yeah.
That would have been a very interesting movie.
Yeah.
And that would have led us into this next movie of like Null, because I really do feel like they put Null in just to go like, because Null is here.
It's because, again, I have a strong feeling that Sony is going to make the symbiotic cinematic universe. If you're leaving Agony alive, but Venom is dead, Rene, you're right. Venom is dead. Now the MCU can use him. but Noel isn't dead. So that means we're not getting Noel in any future MCU projects until they're done with him in the Sonyverse.
Yeah.
Unless that's the agreement that
Exists.
Sony has with Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4.
What is a
for the Man
symbiote
in
movie
Black.
without a Venom?
That's the weird part. Like
Make me care about another symbiote. Everyone is literally a B plot or C plot.
and that's the problem though. You
Yep.
have
No, I said yeah, basically.
No, yeah, and I feel like with Carnage, because you've been destroying symbiotes that we've actually cared about
Carnage is dead.
in every single movie. So you haven't like really left any symbiotes that we kind of care about and everything else. My big thing was that you felt like they were trying to set up for something by the end of this movie because
Yeah.
they also had like the Null reveal where he like finally shows his face and he looked like Null. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
he looks like Null. That's pretty cool.
You know, is Andy Serkis?
Is it Andy Serkis? That
He's
makes
voicing,
sense.
yeah.
Andy Serkis voicing. I thought it was, I thought it was funny when they were like, "Oh, it's going to be Norman
Yeah.
Reedus," because then I thought about it and I was like, "Daryl Dixon is Null,"
Mm-hmm.
and then just him with that Southern twang, trying to like. But
My name is Noel.
I need that. I need that Venom.
Venom.
But I
Rub it
really
out.
do think that they I feel like this movie had other plans and they didn't
Probably.
know what to do because it's really weird too.
Give me the symbiote.
Mind you, so Sean, there's 2 after credit scenes.
Yeah.
One is for Null,
Which
and
we
it's-
already knew.
Which we already knew.
Yeah. They told me
Two.
the genius dialogue behind that.
The King in Black will come after your universe.
Oh no,
Your universe.
that's so corny. Like it's quiet, too quiet.
It's cheese, dude.
And then
Snooky.
and then the other one was the guy from Ted Lasso
Yeah,
who plays
Jason
the bartender.
Sudeikis.
no, not Jason Sudeikis.
The guy who plays what was it?
Oh my god, we can't
Let me
make
Google
up a
it.
name for him because that's gonna sound racist. We
No,
gotta
no,
figure it
no,
out.
no. It's Danny something.
Yeah, I know who you're
He
talking.
looks Hispanic to me when I saw him.
Yeah,
he looks
Spa- he's
Latin.
From, I think he's from like Spain or something like that. Anyway, the whole point is that the bartender then comes out of the base, and then he's just like, "Hello, hola," and then he just runs through, and then a cockroach touches a symbiote canister, and then it goes to black.
Now the canister was containing agony.
Yeah, and then you were like, "Okay." I don't know what the hell that was supposed to mean.
The
Hot take.
cockroach becomes agony.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Wow.
I just didn't know what it meant.
It means
Like,
nothing.
You're right. It
I
means
held in
nothing.
my piss for 45
Dude,
minutes.
that was so funny because he's like, "Oh, dude, do you think I have enough time to make it to like go pee?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I think it might be quick." And then he's sitting there, and there was 7 visual effects studios that were assigned to this movie. There was 7 of them.
There was a point where you could literally make the end credits
What
like
was the
stack.
budget for this?
So here's the thing. Okay, did you notice? Have you noticed that in any other film where they credit songs, they usually put them in rows
Yes.
Yeah.
of like 3.
Yeah.
For whatever goddamn reason, they decided to list every single song one by one, and it was
Huge
like
space.
it's
Dumb.
huge space.
Huge
And I
space.
literally turned to Nick, and I'm just like, dude, these guys are freaking trolling, dude. They're not trying to get through the credits fast enough.
Yeah.
And then you give me this stupid credit scene, dude. To me, honestly, that ruined it for
They
me.
did it on purpose.
They did that on purpose,
so
and the
funny.
fact that I had to pee ruined it for
was
me.
not helping.
Automatic
It was
0 out of
definitely
10.
not helping you.
I laugh because when they released the trailer for Daredevil,
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, dude, people cheering for White Tiger,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be cheering because no one knows what White Tiger is.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of the moment of people cheering. It's like, oh my god, dude, the other
Yeah.
symbiote. Oh my god. It's like, no, you don't. You don't
No,
know these
no.
symbiotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't freaking cheer for them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, scream. Oh my, Aunt's even. Oh my god, no, you don't freaking care. You don't. Stop caring.
And you know what? I feel it's hard.
No, it's not.
No. It's hard for audiences as well to attach to these characters.
Attached to what?
Well, that's what I mean. Attaching to these other symbiotes when the video game did it so much better. Like you saying, "Oh yeah, there's like other symbiotes that are out there, and there's there's like an army of symbiotes or whatever it is." Like there's just so much. Like the video game just does it so much better, and you're like, "Man, you should just adapt to that. Like that would have been so much better."
I love the
You
fact
would've
that
just adapted
they,
it.
Yeah.
they showed agony as a big reveal,
Mhm.
and I'm like,
That's not really agony.
Oh, dude, tagging. Oh,
You can also tell that a lot of actors did not come back for this one.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the main love interest did not come back for
she
it.
didn't want to come back. Michelle Michelle Williams?
She didn't want to come back for it. The detective was only in the movie for like what, 2 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
As
like screen time.
Yeah. You can tell that like the cast that we had built in these past 2 movies didn't care, and they didn't come back for it. The only person that came back was Tom Hardy.
what was the budget of it?
100. Okay, the
100?
No, hold on.
Hundo.
So I just googled Venom Last Dance budget. The Pix reported budget is 120 million before marketing.
That's 100 million too much.
Yeah, 120 million. Yeah, has never seen a hit with the critics. The latest installment landing on Rotten Tomatoes with a 37% critic score, directed by Kelly. Yeah.
You know the audience score for that is 77%.
I was looking at that, and
the audience score for Venom Last Dance is 77.
77?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's those people that love the symbiotes, dude. It's those comic book readers. Oh, they freaking love their symbiotes, dude.
Wait,
I say we boycott
Sony?
superhero
You know what?
movies.
If anyone buys a Venom comic book, Rene,
not Sony.
all
of them. All of them.
Do not sell any more Venom comic books to people. If that is the only comic book they're picking up, kick them out.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
We do
Tell
not
Susan that we're not here to make money anymore.
Right?
We're here.
charge them double. Never mind. Charge them double. All right.
We're here to stand for something.
Yeah.
And that's to not make money.
And that's to not make money anymore.
We're standing up for people. Stop being normies.
It's gonna be like,
Just
hey,
boycott
I would
the
like,
movies, man.
I want one Venom. Sorry, no, get out.
I'm gonna gatekeep Venom now. You guys ruined it.
You know
You guys
what?
all
You don't
ruined
have
it.
to gatekeep. It's just the.
Nah.
He's on too many shirts.
I really just want to see a good Venom movie. We haven't had one,
I know.
and we haven't had a good interpretation, even in so many years.
Even in Toby's, it was not good.
Toby's wasn't. Toby's. Tried.
You know what? I'd much rather watch that one than
Toby's at least tried.
Then Last Dance.
Last Dance.
Toby's was at least interesting.
Yeah. Renee, what'd you think of it?
It was very, very dry, to be honest.
You were laughing at some of the
I was
parts.
laughing because I was liberated
He was.
before.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he was.
Yeah.
So you found humor in the darkness.
Yeah, basically.
Alright.
Which I always do.
I should have.
He was pretty lit.
Yeah. And so, but
We were watching Gurren Lagann, and he was
yeah.
hitting that pin pretty hard.
It's like, I gotta prepare, dude.
Dude, he was watching Gurren Lagann, and while we were watching it, he was just looking at it, going like, "Yeah." And I'm like, in my head, I was like, "He's lit. Like he's just lit. I don't know if he likes.
Hell
Gurren-
yeah.
I don't know if he likes this anime or if he's just lit.
A little bit of both.
Bit of both.
yeah.
But no, overall it was not good. It was very much boring with the humor that they tried to do. I did laugh, but it's just when you're liberated, you can laugh at anything.
Out of 10.
Yeah, out of 10, I think I give it a solid 5.
A 4.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are you trying to say that on the car ride there,
Mhm.
when I was telling you jokes, they weren't actually funny?
No.
Dude, that hurts more. That hurts so much more. Dude, he was dying in the car.
It was.
I thought, in all fairness,
Faked an orgasm.
Nick went home. That was funny.
Nick's like,
dude, I was hilarious tonight.
I thought we had something, Renee.
Bro, I was
We
giving you
shared
my-
moments.
I was
Give
giving
me
you
my
locked
best
eyes.
material.
I was giving you my best stuff, dude. The hell?
I've done things that I've never done with anyone else.
Yeah. Things I only talk about with Monica. It's like,
Oh gosh. And Monica's listening like what? You're gonna get a text. What'd you tell Renee? What have you told Renee?
Speak.
so funny.
Spill it. I don't know. Renee doesn't even remember who's high.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I took a couple puffs too. I don't remember what we were talking about either. We were pretty-
What a liar, dude. What a liar. Trying to recover as much as you can. Out of 10.
Out of 10? Probably like a 4.
I'm on a 4. At the moment, a 0. Right now, 4.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But I kind of have to pee again, so I'm going to drop it to a 3. Because it reminds me. I'm traumatized, dude.
Right.
No, yeah. I don't. It There was nothing.
There was not even like a good after credit scene to kind of like make
No.
up for going
But
to
you know
watching
what?
or investing in these movies.
We're like, oh, look, it was all worth it.
I still think that the worst end credit scene was the one for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Captain America.
Yeah, still. I
Really?
Remember, 100%.
I actually really liked
To
it.
that
It was
day,
funny.
to
Funny.
this
It was-
day,
but-
to this
He
day.
doesn't like to be called
I
out,
wish
that's
him
why.
Death. Huh?
Because you
No,
don't like to be
because it
called
was.
out.
I love the film. I was hyped.
How many
I
more
was
of these
ready.
we gotta do? How many more of these we gotta
I
do?
swear to God, dude, if I ever meet Chris Evans, I'd call him out and be like, "How dare you?"
Why? It was good.
He
No, it
received a
wasn't.
paycheck.
He did.
Okay, he was
did.
contracted.
He
You
did.
leave that man
And I'd be like,
alone.
you know what, Chris
Yeah.
Evans, you owe me. You owe me.
They had that man by
something.
the-
Ask him for a banana split.
Yeah, dude. He got to that set and everything got like real black and white, very grainy. They just pulled his pants down and went, "Be Captain America.
Do it.
Read these lines.
Oh my God, dude! I remember walking
Now
out
read
of
'em
theater like
slower.
livid.
Slow it down."
Human.
Why are we in a
Who
gymnasium?
said they liked it? Who liked it?
Noah?
Who liked what?
That end credit scene.
Oh, I did.
Nobody. Which
I
one?
like
Why'd
did.
you like it?
I like it too.
It was funny.
I thought it was funny too.
All right.
Don't.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. It's our personal opinion, Brian. Remember that.
That's fine. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that, but I need to.
Can't get mad
It's
about that.
definitely on the lower end tier though.
No.
For after credit
That's what you
scenes.
call a callback.
Well, it's my personal opinion that Chris Evans just needs to
Needs
be
to
taught a
die,
lesson.
apparently.
Yeah,
Needs
but
to be taught
that's
a lesson.
our personal opinion is that it was good.
Chris Evans. Basically, Brian saying Chris Evans, I wish he had cancer.
You know,
Die.
no.
Please don't hurt us, Chris Evans.
Yeah.
My thing is that I feel like Brian didn't like it because Chris Evans didn't show his tits.
No.
I feel
He
like
wasn't
if
all
you would've-
oiled
You know what?
up.
Chris
like
Evans
if
is
you
a good
would've-
guy. I have no problem with Chris Evans. I have no
would've shown
problem
me-
with Captain America.
If you would have shown me some
I have a problem with
nips,
Steve Rogers.
That's bro,
Yeah,
with Steve
yeah.
Rogers.
Yeah.
When I see
Steve
Steve
Rogers.
Rogers, it's on site.
If it's Chris Evans, it's fine. But if it's
Yeah.
Chris
Oh, yeah.
Evans dressed as Steve Rogers,
But it's got-
ooh. Well, you know what? When I meet Chris Evans, I'll be like, okay, who are you right now? Are you Steve Rogers? Or are you Chris Evans? And if he answers Steve Rogers,
I'm always
oh my
Steve
gosh,
Rogers.
Straight to the
dude.
choke.
It's-
Throat.
that's the
It's
problem,
what you
Brian.
did to me.
That's the problem, Brian. I'm always Steve Rogers.
No.
That's my secret, Brian.
Then he just,
I'm
then he
always
just punches.
Steve.
Then out of nowhere, the shield forms on his arm, and he just punches you in the face.
It's over, dude. All right.
that would
let's-
be really funny if just if Chris Evans just walked around with the shield.
He is Captain
just-
America.
Yeah.
He's just always Captain
walks
America.
down.
You know what? I'm gonna bring myself Peacemaker then.
He walks
Have
out.
them fight.
He walks out. He walks on the set of Knives Out.
I need to
just
call
has a
John
Captain
Cena
America
out.
shield. Just-
I'll you know what? When I go meet Chris Evans, I'm gonna bring John Cena. I'm gonna ask him and be like, "Who are you today? Are you John Cena?
how
or
are you
Peacemaker?"
getting both of them?
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's somehow in some way in this
Whose
universe.
pee are you touching
Yeah.
to,
I don't know,
to
dude.
have
That's
that
gonna
kind
have
of
to
like
work, dude.
power?
I'm gonna have John Cena and Chris Evans fight,
What wines do you
and I'm
guys
gonna be
are?
rooting for Peacemaker.
Make a deal with Diddy.
Are you friends with
Ew.
the Weinstein?
No, dude. If I did, I wouldn't be here, dude.
That's true.
Yeah.
How many islands have you been to?
Oh my god. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and wrap up this issue. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here, Keeping Up with the Nerds. Issue 220. Please check out our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and X.com. Check out our YouTube channel where you guys can find all the recent LA Comic-Con videos. I think this is the last week that we're uploading things, so everything should be up there by the time, by the end of the week. And the skits as well. Tomorrow, if you guys are listening to this on Wednesday, on October 31st, is the Halloween skits. Keep an eye out for that.
Go check those out too. The SAG Afro one was really good. Which on Swap Meet. Then also the Only Murders from a Building.
Only Murders
Only
editors
Murders
and the
editors.
sound designers
Yeah.
and sound composer for the
Yeah,
Tony
that
Hawk
was a lot of
documentary
fun.
and Silent Planet.
That was a lot
was
of
great.
fun, man.
Yeah.
That was a lot,
It was.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yippers.
But and check out our audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review where you guys can.
Meet.
Are we ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, absolutely.
This-
Also, really quick before we do, remember, go to the Swap Meet video, and all the way at the bottom, you can be a part of the demo.
It's in the
Yeah.
description right at the top.
Yeah, go click it. Go click it. Sign up for the demo, and you get to play the game.
It's a fun game.
It is a lot of fun.
Did you play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played it on Friday.
Okay.
When we first went, yeah.
All right. This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 220. My name is Bryan.
Rene.
Sean.
Signing out from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
I get
Happy
touches
Halloween.
now?